Hi Nadia, how are you?
I'm fine, Lily. Thank
Great.
you.
No, great. There's so much variety in all the courses, and I've been looking at yours, and it's incredible. It looks really nice. I really like that you've got all of these interactive bits. You've got this gamification in there.
Yeah.
You've got short videos. That's what we've tried to do as well, is just short videos to try and keep the attention. Um, I'm really blown away by your course. And it's very because initially we wanted to look at we were going to do part of ours in the medical area, and we moved away from that for various reasons. But it looks like you guys have done great staying in that area.
Thank you. It was a team effort, and so we had really a range of skills within the team. So we had Andrea Mariana. Mariana developed a lot of the content and about AI ethics and the basics of machine learning. And then we had Andrea, who did all the production, and he did an amazing job with all the video clips. And of course, we had Michael Nix, who did a lot of all the scenarios that are based on health related cases, and I think this is the exciting piece about this course, that it combines video clips about the basics with knowledge checks, but at the same time it has some scenarios based on real life examples about all the challenges that AI developers or other health practitioners are faced with when it comes to interacting with AI tools or developing AI tools.
Yeah, I really like how you've got an incredible team. You really do. That's all I can say on that. And so my a bit about me is my background is in medical statistics. So there's a little bit of me which just personally is like, oh, look at this. But
yeah, my own background is in decision analysis, decision behavior, and decision support. So it's all about biases that people are faced with when it comes to taking very complex decisions, and how we can develop AI tools and decision support tools to help them make better decisions.
Yeah. But a lot of it looks like it doesn't. So like, when I was looking through your videos, it's your kind of context, your questions are in this medical setting. But actually, it's still like your videos on bias are still general, like they're still suitable, even if you're not in medical.
And that was one of the challenges set by the Turing Institute when we got the funding. So when we developed the course, the end users we had in mind were health professionals, but at the same time we wanted really to make the course generic enough so that it would appeal to a wider audience. And long term, we would like really to adapt the material and perhaps offer it to a range of professionals from fintech, accounting firms, or lawyers.
Sure. So like kind of generalize it to different contexts.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And of course the scenarios, and they had to be context specific, because in order really to help people take decisions, you need to give people a decision kind of setting. But the aim is to with minor modifications to adapt all the material about AI ethics or decision-making biases that can be applicable to a range of settings, and then to use this as a basis, the scenarios and the way that the scenarios have been developed as a basis in order really to develop other scenarios in different settings.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was something we were thinking about at the start of ours, because we have these two statisticians that we're working with. One, Peter, who's into the medical side, and the other one, Roger, who's into the climatic side. So initially we started with those kind of being our main bits, but then we moved into using kind of case studies where things have gone wrong, all right, in machine learning and artificial intelligence. And building it around there and just using theirs as examples.
And I have to say at this point that when it comes to ethics, people always expect a yes/no answer.
Yes.
But something that is very important to point out that when it comes to the ethical aspects, there is a gray area. And very often when I do ethics, because I happen to be, I'm a member of the panel of the Turing's new Turing ethics
Nice.
panel. And when I look at ethics cases, there's a lot of grayness. They're very gray, and you have really to look at the case from different perspectives. And very often there is not a wrong or right answer, but there is an answer that adheres to ethical guidelines, or what is acceptable at the point that where we look at an ethical case, what is acceptable, what is morally acceptable, and what is legally acceptable.
Yeah, well, there's a case that I was reading, it's just aside from everything now, but there was this small case I was reading which was kind of about breast cancer screenings.
Yeah.
And how, okay, is it better to kind of lower that bar, and so to catch more people?
Yeah.
But then you have a lot of individuals who are going through quite traumatic experiences which actually could be avoided.
Yeah.
Because they have to go through like chemotherapy, mastectomies, this, that, and the other, when actually it was benign what was found, and it would have never been a problem. But on the flip side, that means that you're gonna get less kind of false negatives in there.
Yeah.
And so there's such interesting questions when you apply these things to humans and to the field of medicine.
Yeah.
I feel anyway.
Yeah. And I always feel that it's very important when we design tools that we take into account all stakeholders, because it can be stakeholders are the people who might receive a false positive kind of results, but also the people who who can be affected, that they need an accurate answer, for example. And it is impossible to please everyone, and this is really a very good starting point to decide what are the drivers behind the design of a system, what is the most important stakeholder, and how to be fair. How to be fair to a wide range of audiences or stakeholders out there who might benefit or who might be affected by the outcome of a tool.
So I'm just blown away. It's a really interesting course, and I couldn't have said that better myself at all. It comes down to the context and collaborating with other people and looking at your examples. Yeah. Or looking at what you're facing, and
and as I said before, there is no right or wrong answer, but when potential users out there, when they're going to use the tools that we have made available, at the end of the scenarios, we can give them a kind of feedback, so an indication of what the answers mean.
I saw that, so I was going through some of your scenarios. And you have personalized feedback, which is excellent. So we've done that on a bit of ours, where we have these questions coming through. We have these, we have just kind of one way of consuming the part of our course is through this practical component where you can work through an exercise, and that will point you to the various different content blocks, depending on if you fell into a pit hole or,
I like this about your course, that you get some feedback, but at the same time you can go back to the course in order to go deeper. This is a very good idea. I love it.
I really like this about your course as well, this personalized feedback to kind of, because I was clicking through, and you got these games sort of thing where it's like, okay, your task is to develop some AI. What are you going to do?
Yeah, this is really the question. And at the end of the day, all we can do is to train people out there. It's all about developing capability, AI capability, not only within the Turing, but outside the Turing, try to reach different communities, and try in a small way really to develop AI capability, not only in the health sector, but in any sector out there, because in a way that Turing is part of this ecosystem. We have a responsibility to train, but also to show the way. And hopefully people, will be able to have a look at these courses and then think about developing their own courses based on the content we are providing.
Yeah, agreed. Well, thank you very much, Nadia. And
yeah, thank you, Lily. It was
I really, really
talking
encourage
to you
participants
today.
to have a look at your course, because I think it is excellent. I really,
Okay,
really
thank you. The same to you. Okay.